The UFC White House card gave us the death of two of the sport's biggest superstars. Alex Pereira getting his skull caved in by the filthy French tickler, Cyril No Mercy gone, and Ilia Topuria facing the wrath of Rufus, fumbling a finish, getting pulled into deep waters, and breaking for the first time in his career. But Paddy Pimblett, you guys, Scousers lad, we don't get knocked out. Where are we right now? What went wrong in the MMA timeline to where I can actually visualize a path to victory for Paddy Pimblett here? The stock has never been higher, okay? Paddy Pimblett was out there in the 5th round, winning the 5th round, arguably, over Gaethje, swanging and banging, going toe-to-toe. Paddy Pimblett is a overly confident, arrogant dumbass at the end of the day and thinks he has technical striking when it's insanely underdeveloped, okay? He's had a fast and rushed career. I think Ilia Topuria would still do despicable things to him, but we need to see the fight because now we're in a point where there's this level of uncertainty with Ilia. Like, I have so many questions about him now after the Justin Gaethje fight that I can't completely write off Pimblett yet. Pimblett has earned more of a chance here. But it's time to face the facts. Ilia left 145 where he was, properly sized. He is a pipsqueak in this lightweight division. And if Paddy Pimblett, this filthy scouse prick, is anything, it is stubborn, confident, tough, and that could pose a lot of problems to Topuria when he comes back and he needs to draw confidence from somewhere. You just took an absolute beating courtesy of the copper baby, Justin Gaethje, who Pimblett went the full distance with. So Topuria now knows that, and that is going to play a huge mental factor in this fight. You've been talking all this shit about Pimblett's abilities and his skill set, but he went the full distance with Gaethje when you physically broke and quit on the stool. But I genuinely believe this fight is going to come together. Okay, July 11th, we have the McGregor comeback card. International Fight Week. Insane card. Absolutely stacked top to bottom. Paddy Pimblett fighting Benoit Saint Denis. Now, I'm picking Paddy Pimblett to defeat Benoit. I think the UFC strategically plotted this out just in case Topuria and Alex Pereira, their two superstars, were to lose on the White House card. They have Conor McGregor and Paddy Pimblett locked and loaded, ready to go. The UFC always seems to get what they want in the Paramount era, just seems to be how this year's playing out, so I think Charles Oliveira and Arman are going to fight in the meantime while Ilia's recovering. And this fight, this meme matchup, is actually now kind of on the table. And guys, you already know, Paddy Pimblett is going to flying triangle armbar Benoit Saint Denis and then get on that mic and 100% call out Ilia Topuria, sell the fight even more. They've already done face-to-face promo. They've done just a shit ton of trash talk already. You know this fight's coming, so we're going to be hardcores. We're going to break it down. We're going to get ahead of the curve in case Paddy Pimblett somehow beats Ilia Topuria as like a plus 2,000 underdog. So no longer is Ilia Topuria McGregor maxing his way through this sport, and we're about to find out if Ilia is actually meant to be a future go to this sport, or if he was just the perfect prospect, snuck in at the right time, had a great little rise. This is the crossroads for Ilia Topuria. So I think this matchup is going to happen. I think it means a lot, and we are going to go stat by stat. Yes, I am going to break this fight down in such a level of depth that you didn't even know existed. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share for more UFC breakdowns. Let's dive into Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett. Let's talk about the striking styles of these two and move on to accuracy. Paddy Pimblett, now look guys, unorthodox, unconventional to put it lightly. Sort of how like a younger brother would like attack their older brother, just swatting their punches. That's what Paddy Pimblett has to offer on the feet. It can be effective. Ilia Topuria, so we know Ilia trains hard. We know it's a heavy boxing focus. And maybe that was sort of his downfall. You know, Ilia doesn't really have a clinch to speak of. He doesn't kick like a traditional Muay Thai fighter, so it's very, very boxing focused. It has its flaws. It really does. Like the way he just kind of got manhandled by Gaethje, like with a collar tie. Gaethje just pulling his head down and just jamming uppercuts into his eyes. That's not a good look. Ilia Topuria handily whoops Paddy Pimblett's ass on the feet. If they go blow for blow striking, Ilia is a very, very accurate boxer. Like, even the body shots he was sneaking in on Gaethje, disgusting. The combination he hit Jai Herbert with, filth, complete filthy, just beautiful destruction out of Ilia. So an obvious accuracy edge going Topuria's way for his boxing style, his ability to throw combinations in quick succession. Paddy Pimblett obviously falling behind in this domain, who does have good little quick frenzies, underrated sort of hand speed, clearly does not spend enough time polishing up his striking or doing like classical boxing drills, hands down by his dick when he's in the pocket. Not a good look from Pimblett. Let's move on to cardio. I have them both at average here. The pace that Ilia operates at is pretty basic. When it's time to go like pedal to the metal and like really put pressure on somebody, Pimblett can't do that for very long. High pace, high duration? No. Look at the size this man balloons up to out of camp, just fucking guzzling down milkshakes with Tom Aspinall. Like, I know he cuts like 80 pounds and gets into wicked shape, like this Giga Chad Scouser fight week, but like, he's a fat fuck. Neither of them pushes that incredible of a pace. They are pretty tactical, all things considered. They do choose to go hyper aggro in bursts, but they know they can't sustain that. Average cardio for both. Dodge. Let's move on to dodge. Ilia, the boxing triangle is like peak from Ilia. I love his defensive style. It's really, really good. Obviously didn't showcase that at all against Gaethje for what it's worth. Really disrespected Gaethje's power, his offense, tried to walk through it and sort of sneak into the pocket. Lazy man style. Didn't go so well. Got fucking pieced up badly. But against Paddy Pimblett, I think he actually could get away with that because Pimblett isn't accurate. Pimblett doesn't hit the hardest. Like he feels invincible in that boxing shell, but it's like, no, dude, like there's some Muay Thai weapons that are going to sneak through on you, like collar tie, grab the back of your head, the uppercuts from Gaethje, the tennis grunts. Paddy Pimblett just destroyed Michael Chandler with that jump knee. Like, that could also land on Topuria, absolutely. So Ilia's good defensively, but like definitely not entering the matrix by any means. Paddy Pimblett, though, certified punch magnet, okay? This man doesn't do a single head movement drill, doesn't hinge at the waist, gobbles them up, walks forward. Paddy Pimblett is begging to be KO'd. He's going to be slurring by like age 40. I know he's in his peak physique right now, and Scousers don't get knocked out all this, but like, dude, you're asking for a broken jaw. Just because Topuria lost to Gaethje doesn't mean that power's going fucking anywhere. He could detonate the chin of Paddy Pimblett with a single punch. So edge and dodge going Topuria's way for the crafty boxing triangle slipping. Paddy Pimblett falls behind due to being an absolute punch magnet, neglecting footwork, and primarily coming from a grappling background. Fight IQ. Ilia Topuria is a game plan genius, okay? I think him and his brother have this fight game shit on lock, and Ilia's like adaptive tactics in the heat of battle are sort of like his X factor. Like, he can be losing to Volk on volume, Holloway on volume, and like find these like just nuclear like fight ending adjustments that he just so happened to not find against Justin, but like finally took his L, had a bad night, whatever. The problem with Paddy Pimblett is that he likes to take so many risks in his fights that he completely neglects defense. Somewhere along the way, somebody told Paddy Pimblett that he was like this devious striker, and you're not, okay? You're atrocious on the feet, but yeah, Paddy Pimblett just needs to recognize how good at grappling he really is, and he needs to learn how to shoot better takedowns. He needs to get a crafty Piotr Jan Muay Thai sweep in his game. And as for the level of opposition here, it's fucking night and day, okay? That's another thing. We still need to like learn a lot about Paddy Pimblett in so many matchups. He's really fought no one to my liking yet and produced a high-level, elite-level win. Only the future will tell for Pimblett's fight IQ, but right now I give the edge to Ilia Topuria, obviously. Let's talk about the grappling. I can't wait to see these two guys grapple because Ilia Topuria is really getting away from it because he's discovered just nuclear heat in his hands. I get it. And did he fumble a body shot TKO of Justin Gaethje by trying to go for an armbar instead? Yes, he did. He fumbled that so bad. That was the one moment to go for broke, risk it all, and pulverize Gaethje on the ground with just the nastiest ground and pound ever. But I don't even know if Ilia has ground and pound. Like, that might just not be in his game, in all honesty. I know he defeated the great Ryan Hall. No, Ryan Hall has cerebral palsy. Gaethje's like twice his size. But I'd love to see Ilia get back to his grappling. I hope he's just not like only an effective grappler at featherweight. But I want to see Ilia like scramble with Pimblett. I want to see him scramble with Arman. I think that would be absolute gold to watch. And really, Paddy Pimblett's greatest strength will always be his grappling edge, his like BJJ base, that like stay out of his world, friend, because like Pimblett's been doing this forever. He's a great back taker. And all I'm saying, guys, Ilia might not be ready for lightweight grappling. We've seen what he can do at featherweight, but the real question for both of these guys are, can you wrestle and grapple for a prolonged period of time? Like if Arman is shooting multiple takedowns around, if you've got Gamer Nation Gamrot on your ass, chain wrestling you, sapping away at your cardio. Though that's like the grappling tests, the questions for these two guys that I have. As for submission ability and just overall BJJ IQ, very, very good grapplers. Some of the best at lightweight under Oliveira for sure. Not the greatest takedown artists. That would probably go to Arman. But these two guys have really, really good scrambling. It's just sort of been a while since we've seen it for either of them. They've sort of fancied themselves strikers for whatever reason. Hopefully they go back to the grappling. So grappling for Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett, I have at dead even. Up next is that KO power, and it's not even a question. Ilia Topuria is still on the Death Touch tier list. I put him there for a reason, okay? Definitely one of the sport's hardest punchers for the lighter weight classes, without a doubt. Gaethje's just made of fucking cement, okay? And this is where I ultimately think Paddy loses this fight, is if these two get going in the pocket, maybe Paddy has some early success. He's like landed a couple little feeler jabs and thinks to himself, I'm Max Holloway, and tries to like do the dance with Ilia Topuria. You will wake up in a hospital bed, 100%. Paddy, you don't have the defense or the head movement or the footwork to, like, survive on the feet with Topuria. Not a fucking chance. He would have to go to grappling in this fight, I think, to even survive it. Absolutely the KO power edge goes to Ilia Topuria. And the final stat, and the really important one that I think is going to go Paddy Pimblett's way, is toughness, because look, before this fight, these guys probably would have been even on toughness, but Paddy Pimblett, dude, Pimblett has a fucking meathead. Is able to walk through lightweight power punches. He is. He was able to walk through Michael Chandler bombs. He's a gigantic guy. He's a big fat ass out of camp, and I swear that, like, aids in his durability in these firefights. Like, he does it for a reason. I think he's genuinely just a bigger guy, like, just like Gaethje, like, big head, big bones. Topuria is a power freak, but, like, he's not that, like, he's not made of iron. Like, as we found out, like, we all saw the clip of, like, that Charles Oliveira, like, elbow right in his mouth, and he just shrugs it off and KOs him, like, aura. The Jai Herbert head kick comeback, and then just absolute destruction. That's all we went off of, though. Like, we hadn't seen Topuria properly put through a war yet. Now we kind of know that, like, his toughness is still great. Like, just because you can't hang with Gaethje doesn't really mean shit, but, like, now we've seen him broken. Look, Paddy Pimblett still never knocked out. Absolute fucking durability freak Paddy Pimblett. Cuts weight and then just probably shovels in, like, an absolute mound of mashed potatoes and gravy. Would absolutely seismog Topuria. It's not even funny. And so, yeah, we come to the end of the breakdown. Ilia Topuria is outsized in this matchup. Quite possibly could be outstrengthed and outscrambled by Paddy. We don't really know how their overall wrestling would match up yet, but in a pure striking contest, the stock of Paddy, rose tremendously because he went all 5 rounds with Gaethje, had a couple good moments, won a round or two. Ilia wasn't able to produce those results. Obviously, every fight is different. Ilia was hunting a finish, made a few critical errors, but I think we're going to see this fight. We got to see that Ilia is a little too small for lightweight. You might be able to use your physicality against him, and I think that's where Paddy can shine, but definitely wanted to unpack this one a little bit, go into some stats with you guys. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all real soon.